I'm Kirsty.
And I'm Dieter.
And welcome to Win Some Loosemore, a YouTube channel about the hobby of board games.
We have reached the end of February, so this is our time that we look back at some of the games that we played, some of the things that we've done, some of the news that we found out, just to share with you our journey in it. So, what's happened? What have we done?
Well, not a lot really. We've had half term and I've had a week off, so we had an opportunity to play a few more games then, but mainly one-player games because our half term, my week off didn't coincide. So we've been playing a few of one-player games.
Started going to a little group.
Yes.
That's been interesting. It's really fun. Making these videos, I really enjoy it. Within our circle of friends, we're relatively knowledgeable on board games, but it's nice. It's really nice to be reminded that we're noobs.
Humbling.
Yeah. So we went for the first time 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Early in February, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos, so I feel like I know a lot, and we have a reasonably sized collection of games. Kirsty very excitedly said,
"We've got 60 games."
Which
don't you know?
probably sounds a lot to most of you.
If you're a non-gamer, wow,
that's loads.
Yeah.
So the reaction was, "Oh, okay." Like, it's a good start. Oh. And then, we're going to play Caverna. Have you played Caverna? No, I've never played Caverna. I know it's one of the most popular, famous games, and I know about it.
I asked their favourite games, and I hadn't heard of one of them. Humbling. Okay.
But good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So Dieter's going back.
Yeah, doing back.
Back faces.
So the first time we played Caverna by Uwe Rosenberg, which is a really big game in a way, in that there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like what you do isn't big, but there's just lots of ways of doing it, and
the
stuff.
amount of pieces, components of the game. There's loads of it. I'm really sorry. My phone always goes off in this. Too popular.
And then I went back and taught Architects of the West Kingdom, which we spoke about last time. So that's been fun. Nice to be reminded that we're still quite early in this journey, which was our whole point. We could have just left it alone.
It might have carried on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to be around people that know far more than I do. Just
how you grow.
You learn stuff.
Yeah.
So that was nice. And we played a homemade mod of a game that I hadn't played before, that one of the guys had taught.
Yeah.
Which was an interesting
That's
one.
cool to have a group that you can bring things to and like experiment, because you've had ideas and stuff about games before, haven't you? So yeah, you can kind of bounce ideas off people who are in that world, which is nice, really.
So that's good. New group. We've had a few new games. New to us, at least. I don't think any of them...
Sagrada.
One of them brand new. Do you want to show?
Yes.
Again, mentioned it last time, but we talked about Sagrada.
Yeah, we did mention it last time, but only briefly. So this is about building a stained glass window. It is a dice game, which we tend to enjoy dice games, or ones we've played so far.
And drafting games.
And it's a drafting game. It's a drafting dice game. And so it's very pretty. You've got loads and loads. How many dice? Loads of dice. 50?
I don't remember.
Translucent coloured dice. And you are building up your stained glass window, but you have a very certain criteria to meet. You can only place certain dice in certain places. And it's quite difficult. No. It's nicely challenging.
It's a deeper thinking than you would assume from what the explanation is.
Yeah.
Like we played it ourselves, then we taught a couple of friends of ours, and it was a slower, thinkier game than we were expecting, not because of them, but because the game, when you've got more, the more people you have, the more dice you pull out, and so the choice is bigger. and then there's the tools to affect it.
And depending on the
Your
patterns you're
choice.
making, there are different scoring mechanisms. So you can either be scoring by a secret card that only you know about, a personal card. You can be scoring by some joint objectives in the middle of the board. You can be scoring by, I don't know.
That's it, I think. Just the common ones or your colour.
Yeah. And
You
whether
can
you
lose
filled,
ones.
whether you filled the whole window in, etc. I liked it. It's nice to have a bit of a new theme. I'm always saying that it is good to have a drafting dice game, but in a kind of like stained glass windows. Who would have thought? It's a nice thing to introduce to new people. Very easy to teach. So yeah, what did you think? Did you enjoy it?
I did. I like it, and we know I like it. I produced a Why I Like video, which I'll link in the corner. You can go to if you want to see more about the game, because there's a one-player mode as well, which I like discovering.
Oh yes, I've not done that.
That was enjoyable. The other game, actually, almost a similar theme, is a game called Fresco, where a fresco is a painting, and you are making the painting. Now, instead of drafting the colours, this is a simultaneous action selection, worker placement thing, programming thing, where you get different colour cubes to be different paint colours, and you can mix them, and you're trying to... mechanically, it's the same as most other Euro-y games in that you get resources to turn in resources to complete, in this case, painting part of the fresco. In other games, building a building or completing a contract, whatever it is. Mechanically, it's the same. But what's different about this one, for us anyway, is how you choose what you do.
Yeah.
So it's done simultaneoushave and secretly. And so I've got a little shield around my little, I suppose, worker placement board, because there's 5 different actions you can do. Each have 3 slots, and you have put your shield up and put your 5 workers where you want on your thing. We then all reveal and then take the actions in order, and then in player order as well. I'll come to that because that's the interesting bit, the player order bit. And so if I've been to the market once, but Kirsty's been twice, and she's before me, she could have cleared out all the things that I wanted. I'm still going to...
Oh, I had fun clearing out all the things.
Apart from the market, you're always going to get to do something on whichever one you go on, but how good that is depends on other people, and that's a secret. See, it's a little programmy, which we've not really looked at before. We've not had a programming game. The clever... you carry on. We're so polite.
We get stuck in these situations.
We just sit there staring at each other for ages going, no, you talk.
Okay, I'll talk. So I like the fact, so you're dealing with paints to make this painting. Not actual paints, blocks of colours. But I like that when you mix 2 of the blocks together, you make the colour that you're meant to make in real life. If that made any sense to you. So you mix a yellow and a blue, and you get green. so you can exchange a yellow and a blue to get a green cube. That's just quite a nice thematic touch. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and you can't do all of the things. You're trying to work out how best to serve what you want to do whilst trying to work out what the other person's trying to do. So there's a clever thinking to it. But the really clever bit is the turn order. There's this little track with only 4 spaces on our side of the board. We only played on the 2-player side of the board. There's a 4-player side I haven't actually looked at. But you...
Sorry.
There's a little track that you decide what time you want your workers to wake up. And the earlier you wake up...
The early bird catches the worm.
Yes, you get to go to the market first. You do all of your actions before everybody else, but because you're first, things at the market cost more, because why not? The market can charge what they like, and your workers get grumpy because you've made them get up early. So there's this like happiness track for your workers, and if you're too far down, you lose a worker. They've just gone away. They don't care. They don't want to work for you anymore. And so this varies. It's like, was it 5 coins and -3 or something on the happiness track at 5 a.m. and then 6 a.m. is 3 coins and -2, and then 7 o'clock nothing happens on the happiness track and stuff at the market costs 2, but you can get up late, which means you're definitely going to go last, but your workers are really pleased, so their happiness goes up, and you might actually gain an extra worker whilst that's going on. So that was just a really clever way of working out.
Again, so thematic, very cleverly put together, that if your workers have to get up early, they would be grumpy, and therefore,
You give them a lion, they get happier, and things are cheaper because people are just trying to sell off the stuff that they've got left.
Yeah, just very cleverly done.
So yeah, I enjoyed it more than you.
Yeah, I'm not keen on the mechanism, just generally. I'm not a worker placement kind of girl. Yeah, I much rather the drafting of the dice. But, yeah.
Whereas I like familiar, so I like worker placement because we've played a lot of it, but I like different takes on it. So I like Architects of the West Kingdom because it's got that cumulative and the stealing other people kind of, it's a different take on worker placement. This one is kind of the programming worker placement, which we've not done before. So I like exploring different ways of doing familiar things, whereas you like having lots of different mechanics. Like we could have a worker placement game and you'd be completely full up on worker placement.
Yeah.
Card drafting 1 or 2 and you're done, and so you like a much broader range than I do. So, different mechanic, I'm just going to jump in.
Okay.
Fantasy Realms is a smaller card game. We picked this up when we were in Canada in October.
Hi Ian, hi Jen, hi. Ian.
Ian and Jen.
What was the kid's
How
name?
could you? Marcus.
Marcus. Oh, I hope they don't see this. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry, I shouldn't have dug myself into the hole. Continue.
Oh.
Sorry, Marcus.
Family we stayed with very graciously played with us and very much enjoyed it. So we hadn't really played since October.
Yeah.
Because we mentioned this one before, but in our first one of these, hand building thing like rummy or gin rummy, I don't really know what they are. But whichever one it's called, it's like that, where you're building your hand and you want the best combo of cards. You don't turn them in like you do in a normal card game, it's just at the end of once enough cards have been discarded. But there are 2-player rules, and we'd never played those before, so we stayed up and played that one night. And how did you find the 2-player? Because normally you start with a full hand and you're just exchanging cards as either from the deck or the table, but this you don't start with any, and so you have to draw 2 and discard 1 and keep 1.
As far as I can remember of the more than 2-player thing, I prefer the 2-player version. I really like 2-player. I like that there's much more of a clear direction when you start. Yeah, it was great fun. It was actually in the middle of the night we played it, wasn't it? Because we couldn't sleep, so we got out of bed and played Fantasy Realms. But it was fun, and we played it a couple of times. We played it 3 times, didn't we? Because best of 3. And I won. But so that
very convincing.
That contributes to the fact that I enjoyed it. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a different. It feels different at 2 than it did at multiplayer, because your choices are very limited at the beginning, because you've only got then 1, then 2, then 3 cards, and you're having to work out the best combo around the cards you've already got. Whereas in the multiplayer, where you start with a hand of cards, you have to almost spend the first couple of turns choosing which combo you're going to go after. Yeah. And you prefer it kind of unfolding, whereas I like choice from the beginning. So yeah, cool little card game, check it out. Fantasy Realms, and the only other new one to us.
Sorry.
Yes.
No thanks.
No thanks.
So this is a very simple game. Yeah, we got introduced to it a few years ago, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
It is basically
A year ago,
you turn over a card, and if you want it, you take it. If you don't, you put on a no thanks token, which is a -1. So I'm explaining this very backwards.
Points are bad.
Points are bad.
Like
You want the lowest points.
And whatever number is on the card that you flip over, that's how many points it's worth. They range from 3 to 35. Yes.
Yeah. So a 3 you would want, 35 you would not want. So you'd go round and people were saying 35, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks. People were putting their little red no thanks tokens on the card. Now this, because the tokens were worth -1, this is decreasing the value of the card. So it becomes more tempting to take. If you run out of tokens yourself, you have to take card, and so you have to balance between putting tokens on thing and taking cards with tokens on to maintain your token stash.
Because a 35 with 10 chips on is actually more valuable than a 25. Like, it's better to take a 35 with 10 chips on, because that means everyone only starts with 11 chips, and so everyone else is low, so you kind of have control of how many rounds it's going to go around before you force somebody to take it, or kind of gambling on I want that card. Because another cool thing, if you have consecutive numbers, only the lowest one scores.
Yeah.
So if you had 35 and then a 34 came up, great. And then 33 comes up. No one wants 33, but they also don't want you to have that, because now
that means
lost
your
another
original
point.
35 has now gone down to the value.
So you're gambling, going, how many times can I push it around to make them give me chips? Because they're not just going to take 33 points before I take it, but if I go around too long, someone else will take it just to stop me and to gain. It's clever. It's not my number one game, so don't misunderstand what I'm about to say. But for me, it's almost the perfect game. Like, I don't mean...
Explain yourself.
I don't mean it's the best game ever.
Okay.
I don't mean it's the game I enjoy the most. I don't mean if anybody ever says, we like games, what do you suggest? That I say no thanks. I'm saying this is the single game that I would say absolutely everybody should own.
Oh, interesting.
There is nobody that I can conceive of, I'm sure they exist, there's nobody for whom this wouldn't work well. Like, it is such a small package that you just pull out, it's such a simple rule set, and yet is clever enough and has enough choices to be engaging. But it's not a deep strategy game, and there's no clear rounds. You can kind of just play it as much or as little as you want. You run through the deck and that's a round. You can score it and never play it again, or do 5 rounds and accumulate the scores, or just see who won the most number of rounds. It's flexible enough, it's small enough to travel with, it would just fit in every collection that I can imagine. I just think everybody should have it. That's what I mean. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, alright.
Only my opinion. You don't seem to agree, but that's okay.
Well, I get that, but if you don't want it, don't buy it.
Saying no thanks to no thanks. I've played a couple other
Kids
things.
say no thanks to drugs.
Took it to a weird place. It didn't need to go there. We've had a couple people round over the month as well, so we've taught Fuse, always goes down well. Between Two Castles, Madkin Ludwig.
Oh, still so good.
We're
Such
enjoying
a good
that
game.
one. Drafting, but not quite cooperative. But
you don't feel on your own because you are open to
so you're
somebody.
discussing it. I think we both lost. Didn't
Yes, we did.
I seem to always be the weak link. Even though I understand the game probably the best of all the people we've ever played with. And
Sorry, I understand it pretty well.
Yeah, sure, but you still go when you're trying to teach it, and then I teach it. That's what she looks like. But then mine are rubbish, and I lose. I lose every time.
Because I understand it better.
Or you work with good people. We taught Ticket to Ride New York, which we spoke about last time. Sagrada, we said. We've played a fair bit of Keyforge as well. News! some news.
Isn't it? Yes.
The second set of Keyforge has been announced.
Yes.
Age of Ascension. Yes, I've already pre-ordered.
That was last month.
I don't think I mentioned it.
Oh.
If I mentioned it, I'm saying it again because I'm excited. If I haven't mentioned it, the new set of Keyforge has been announced.
Pre-order.
I have pre-ordered it. Should be end of May kind of time, so that's cool.
And we're due
it's
to
not
get a
brand new
nephew
cards.
round then as well, so it's quite exciting time
It is.
of the year.
It is.
Keyforge and nephew.
Whoa, what a month. That sounded more sarcastic than I meant it to. That is going to be an exciting month. More so that a new human
New human.
than
New game.
an extra bit to a game we already play and enjoy and could never buy anymore.
But we'll smile at the thought of both.
Yeah. I'll be outwardly probably more excited about the game, but really...
That's awful to say.
Why?
You'll be grumpy about the child.
No, but like I can see what cards are coming. I can see how they'll affect the gameplay. I know that I've there's a concrete thing to that. I don't know this person yet, and I'll be super excited getting to know them.
Okay.
But I don't know them.
Oh, it's the uncle. You can take him to the pub. Anyway, doesn't matter.
He'll have just been born. Not taken to the pub when he's just been born. That's not fair on anybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's news. What else is news? We've got a couple of things coming from Kickstarter in the next month or two. Unbroken, a solo game, should be at the end of March. Seventh Continent expansion is still whenever that happens. Yeah, I think things tend to get delayed with Kickstarter, so that's okay. We've both played Spirits of the Forest solo mode.
Oh yeah, I played that for the first time the other day.
Tell us about it. How'd you find it?
I'm not sure. It was good. I won. It didn't. So Dieter made a comment previously that I agree with, in that it's less of a game and more of a, what did you call it?
A mental activity.
Yeah, mental activity. It's fine. It's fine. And there is one little thing I like about it. If you know the game, you know the spirit tokens, which can add to your spirit collection. Your opposition, who doesn't really exist, obviously in the one-player game, has 2 spirit tokens that you don't know what they are. But you get 1 spirit token, which you know what it is. And I'm sure if you've never played this game, you have no idea what I'm talking about.
You can, though. If you click on the thing, I recently posted me playing through a solo version.
Okay, that should
so
help
it
you
will explain how that works. It's a
what I'm
shortish
talking
video
about.
because I suck at these games and I lost.
So
Spoilers.
yeah, so I played that and it's fine, and I'm not sure whether I'll play it again. I might do.
It's a nice thing just to-
A game that we've probably talked about loads, but I love it, is Friday, because I've played this on my week off. I've played this a handful of times.
Have you?
Yeah, 5 or 6 times.
Oh, wow.
I love Friday. So that is just a one-player game, and you are.
Man Friday.
Are you Man Friday?
You are Man Friday.
Okay.
Hence the name.
And you're trying to survive, and it's really nice. Like, it's a nice, engaging game. I really enjoy it.
Good.
And he gets older, which is a bad thing, but it's just nice. I advise you to check out Friday if you like playing games.
If you want more information, again, we've done
Oh,
a why I
man.
like video
You're on
and a
top of the
playthrough.
Why I like videos.
Yeah.
So proud of you.
Right. Is there anything you particularly like to play in the month coming up?
No. I wouldn't mind playing Between Two Castles again. No, I haven't got anything Tolkien, because I said that last time, and I don't think we have played it in the last month, have we?
No. We
and we've only played it once, so Tolkien.
But enjoyed it even the once.
Is one I would like to play.
Yeah.
What about you, my dear?
Both of yours, actually. Tolkien and the Networks are ones I want to get my head around more, so we can enjoy them more.
I think you're selling the Networks.
We've looked at it.
Okay.
We may sell it. We may not. We may give it away. Who knows? Or play it ourselves.
Make us an offer in the comments. So we've got a new logo that Dieter has created.
I'm not very good at logos.
No, he's not very
good. Check out the logo for evidence. I'm not good at logos.
So we're thinking we should get a new logo. So yeah, always keep in touch if you have any ideas. I think that's it, Dieter.
I think that's it.
There's not a lot going on right now. It's a bit quiet.
I think,
things will pick up because we've got Games Expo on its way, so there'll be things going towards.
Beginning of June.
Will they be releasing things at Expo? Or?
The 3rd century game to complete our collection.
Which we mainly only want because it makes a pretty big
Well, I want it anyway, but you're going to want it less because it's worker placement.
Yeah,
but it's still that how it all combines, and yes, the front covers, is that the right phrase?
Front of the boxes.
Yeah. You can put them all next to each other to create one
a pretty
picture.
And you partly just want it to complete your set.
I am a bit of a completionist.
Yeah. But we've got a coin collection that he won't complete. Isn't that true?
That's a discussion for another time.
Okay.
Thank you very much for watching. We will keep updated as things come out. I'll be doing other videos between now and next month, but next month we'll do another one of these, tell you what we've been up to. Do check out our social media. We're in the usual places: Twitter at WSomeElmore, Instagram, putting up photos sometimes when we play. I still don't really understand it. There are filters. That's fun. Facebook has currently been somewhat neglected, but we'll look back at that and get back into that one. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
Press the little bell. Ding, ding.
Do check out the other videos. There's a lot of wire likes and a growing number of playthroughs. You get to see some of these games in actions to see what you think. But we will see you next time. We've been Winston Loosemore. Goodbye.
Goodbye.